Fifth grade lesson 10.3 into math. Use representatives of division of unit fractions by whole numbers. I can create a story context to use a visual fraction model to interpret the division of a unit fraction by a whole number. Spark your learning. Darren thinks about how he can use division of unit fractions by whole numbers in his cooking class. He considers the expression 1/2 divided by 8. What word problem can be written for 1/2 divided by 8? Draw a visual model to show the quotient and then explain what it represents. So for our visual model, we drew one big box and then we broke it in half because we only used half of it. And then we broke that half into 8 different pieces, which then we also represented that the other half would have pieces as well. We just wouldn't use those pieces. So we said Darren makes half a batch of cupcakes and divides the batter into 18 holders. How much batter is in each 10? So basically he has what? 1/16, right? In each 10. Build understanding. Darren considers situations in which a fractional quantity is divided into equal groups. Darren thinks about the expression 1/4 divided by 2. Describe a situation in which 1/4 of an item can be divided into 2 equal parts. How do the quantities represent the dividend, the divisor, and the quotient? So we said Darren has 1/4 of a cake. He and a friend want to share the piece of cake. How much will each one get? So we said the dividend was 1/4, the divisor is 2, and the quotient is 1/8, because the dividend is the total that we want to take. The divisor is how much we're wanting to split it into, and then our quotient, of course, is our answer. And then we realized that we actually answered letter B in our answer of A. Okay, but they want us to draw a visual model to show the quotient. So basically, we would have our big box again, right? Okay, we would divide it into 4 pieces because that big box is the whole, right? We divide it into 4 pieces, and then what do we divide one of those 1/4 pieces into? 2. So we would divide this into 2, and then of course these would also all be divided into 2, right? Okay, but we're not using those, right? Because they only had a 1/4 of it, not the whole thing, correct? Okay. And so we're only going to use one of those halves. So then we then get our 1/8, right? Use your visual model to write a division equation and then explain what the quotient represents. So once again, it's 1/4 divided by 2, which equals 1/4 times, and then we have to do our reciprocal, right? Or flip the second one. So that would be 2/1, which then becomes what? 1/2. So 1/4 times 1/2 equals 1/8. Write and solve a word problem that can be modeled by the expression 1/2 divided by 6. Draw a visual model to show the quotient and then explain what it represents. What word problem can you write that can be modeled by 1/2 divided by 6? So we said our question would be Bob has half of a pizza. He and his 5 friends decide to split the pizza evenly. How much does each friend get? So we drew a big model, then we broke our box in half because it's only half of it. Then we broke that half into 6 different pieces to show that that would be split up, but then also you would have the other side as well. So then we said that half displays the dividend, 6 is the divisor, and 1/12 is the quotient. So we took 1/2 divided by 6. And then, therefore, that returned us to 1/2 times 1/6. So each friend got 1/12 of the pizza. Stepping out, look at the visual model. So basically, they had a big box, right? Or one whole. They broke it into how many pieces? They broke it into 4 pieces, right? And then divided that 4th by what? 3, right? So write a division word problem that can be represented by the. So he said, Stella had 1/4 of a piece of steak left over from her dinner. She came home and wanted to give each of her 3 dogs a piece evenly. How much does each dog get? So what's our division problem? So we said that we started with what fraction of that whole? 1/4, right? Okay, because the dotted lines mean we didn't use that section, right? Okay, so 1/4, and then they divided that 1/4 section into how many pieces? 3, right? Okay, so what is that now? 1/4 times 1/3 equals, okay, so 1/12 of a piece of steak is our answer. Check understanding. Amy writes a word problem that can be modeled by the expression 1/4 divided by 5. Complete her word problem. There are blank trucks that need to share the total amount of recycled plastic bottles equally. If there is a collection of blank ton of plastic bottles, how much does each truck carry? So can we divide a truck into pieces and have it work still? No, so we need that to be our whole number, right? So 5 and then 1/4 here, right? Okay. Let's look at number 2. A doctor has half an hour to see 3 patients. If the doctor divides the time equally among the patients, how much time will be spent with each patient? Draw a visual model. So we have the half hour, the 3 patients, and then how much time will be spent with each patient? So if we have our big square, draw it in half. How many sections do I break it into? 3. So 1/2 I break into 3 sections. And then I can dot out the rest, right? We're only using half of it. Okay, so what do I end up with? 1/6, right? Because if we're only using one section. But I can also do my 1/2 divided by 3, which equals 1/2 times what? Times 1/3, which equals, so 1/6 of an hour, right? Number 3, write a word problem that involves a plot of land and a number of different crops that can be modeled by the expression 1/2 divided by 5. Okay, so we said we have half an acre of land and need to plant 5 crops. How much of an acre will each crop get? So then we worked it out up here. We took 1/2 divided by 5, which then is 1/2 times 1/5, and that got us 1/10 of an acre for each crop. Okay? Then will the question be less than 1/2 or greater than 1/2? Justify your thinking. We said it would be less than 1/2 because you're breaking that piece into even smaller pieces. So it would be littler. Okay. Number 4, write a word problem for the expression 1/5 divided by 4. Then draw a visual model and solve your problem. So we came up with the word problem. Jimmy has 1/5 of a foot-long sandwich and wants to share it equally amongst him and his 3 friends. How much will each friend get? So we drew our big picture, broke it into fifths, and then broke one of those fifths into 4 pieces, and then got 1/20th of the sandwich. Number 5, Margie writes a word problem for the expression 1/3 divided by 6. A bottle of mouthwash is 1/3 empty. If the remaining amount is divided equally over 6 weeks, what fraction of the bottle is used each week? What mistake did she make in her problem? Should it say 1/3 empty or 1/3 full? 1/3 full. Okay, so she should have said, instead of empty, she should have said full, so that we're only using 1/3, because it wouldn't be 1/3 divided by 6, it would be what? 2/3 divided by 6. Okay? So correct her word problem and find the correct answer. So we did that, right? Okay. And then it would be, so we would have our big picture, break it into thirds, right? Okay, hopefully yours is broken a little better than mine. And then 6 of that 1/3. Okay, and then we're into that. So what did we get? So we would take 1/3 divided by 6, which equals 1/3, times what? Instead of 6 over 1 times what? 1/6, which equals 1/18. So 1/18 what? 1/18 each week. Okay, so next page, we're just going to go ahead and cross it off. Okay, then homework, teachers.